I might be an alcoholic, but at least I'm functioning. At least I'm a functioning alcoholic. So what they're saying is my condition could be worse, right? And I believe that every drinker has a problem. Anyone who's put in a toxic chemical into their body on a regular basis to change their mental or emotional state, mostly emotional. So most people have fallen into that trap of being an alcoholic. How you doing? Today I wanted to do just a quick video on a question that I got from somebody in the YouTube comments, and they said, am I a functioning alcoholic? A functioning alcoholic. So what is a functioning alcoholic? You're going to get a lot of people who give you a definition of what they think a functioning alcoholic is. And all I can do basically is give you my definition or my interpretation of this phrase. For a start, there's no real definition of what an alcoholic is. So we're starting from that perspective. Everyone will give you a different interpretation of what they think an alcoholic is. I mean, for me, it's any person who drinks alcohol consistently is an alcoholic, right? So we'll define a functioning alcoholic as somebody who drinks a lot of alcohol but can still function in their lives. They've never hit their tipping point. I prefer to use the tipping point rather than rock bottom in this thing. So my problem with this phrase, for me, it gives an excuse. It gives sort of a get out of jail clause that people give to themselves. And they say, well, I might be an alcoholic, but at least I'm functioning. At least I'm a functioning alcoholic. So what they're saying is my condition could be worse, right? And I believe that every drinker has a problem. Anyone who's put in a toxic chemical into their body on a regular basis to change their mental or emotional state, mostly emotional. So most people have fallen into that trap of being an alcoholic. And functioning, I mean, this is really a word. It's like moderation, that it has got so much wiggle room in it. I mean, think about what functioning actually means. If you haven't signed up for our quick start guide yet, it's down below. It's a free course. It's less than an hour in length. It will help you to, it's really designed for people who are preparing to stop drinking alcohol, just to get you into that mindset, to give you some clarity about where you are, to give you a bit of confidence about yourself and your abilities to actually do this. And believe me, if I can do this, anybody can do it. And to give you some courage to step across that line and into your new life. Now, I'll deal with this ambiguity about the word functioning. Every drinker who is at the stage of stopping drinking alcohol, there's a very ambiguous feel to what they're doing. And what I mean by ambiguous is there is an internal state of mind which wants to stop drinking alcohol. The pain is pushing you towards that. But there is also an internal state of mind that likes what you're doing, that wants to continue to do that. My dad used to always say, if cigarettes weren't bad for me, I would never stop because I enjoy doing it. And the enjoyment that he got out of it was just an habitual enjoyment. He was conditioned over the years, because he'd been doing it for so long, into thinking and believing that this was an enjoyable thing to do. But what's enjoyable about sticking a roll of dried weed into your mouth, like setting it on fire, inhaling the smoke and blowing it back out again? It just doesn't make any sense. So alcohol drinking is also ubiquitous, right? So it's a common thing that everyone does, and instinctively we know that to change one thing in your life is to change a lot. So instinctively that when you're going to stop drinking alcohol, that some of your friends are going to be like, oh, what the hell is happening here, right? That some of your social meetings are going to be different in the future. That you're not going to be able to use alcohol as a crutch in this way or that way or any other way, right? So you've got this ambiguity, you've got this instinctive idea that there's a lot going to be changing in your life. So this is one of the reasons why we're not moving forward. And then you've got this correlation bias, right, which is seeing the positive a positive correlation instead of a negative correlation. So you're seeing when you're looking at things and you're making comparisons, you're not really looking at the bad stuff in your life. You're not looking at the bad, when you're flicking through a magazine, let's say, for instance, and you see a negative review of alcohol and the way it's causing people to have problems in their life, you'll skip over that one, but you'll look at the one that says resveratrol, for instance, is something which will help you. Or there's been this new study, and they said that drinking a glass of wine every day can help you with cardiac problems, for instance, right? So this is an important thing. Now, I think of this as, we used to have this thing in Ireland. When I was in Ireland, for a couple of decades, I worked in forestry. And part of our job was to fell trees, when in places where diggers couldn't get, so their machine couldn't get up to these things, or we'd have to go up with a manually chop them down with a chainsaw. Now, there was this thing called a widowmaker, and the widowmaker was at the top of the tree. The wind would snap the top of the tree off, but the top of the tree wouldn't fall down, so it'd be stuck at the top in the canopy. And you'd always have to look up before you cut the tree down. So you'd make your way around the tree, have a look at the tree, but then you'd look up and see what was in the canopy, what was going to fall down on you. And they called it the widowmaker because there was a lot of people who in the past had cut into the tree, not looked up, and then as the tree had separated from the canopy, this thing had come down and obviously killed them. That's, to me, what these things are. These when people call themselves functioning alcoholics, when they call themselves an alcohol, when they refute the word alcoholic, I think keeps people going for a lot longer than they should do. But all of these things where you're trying to get away from the idea of your alcohol being abusive or your alcohol use being bad for you. Look at what I can achieve despite my drinking. That's the idea behind the functioning alcoholic. In reality, any drug use of this kind, it reduces your quality of thinking. It reduces the quality of the thoughts that are coming out because of that. It reduces your behaviors and your actions because your thinking is subpar. And you're talking about poisoning more so more than the things that the poison into the body, which we all know about, but we're ignoring, thinking about the heart attack that's waiting to happen. I get that, but think about the lost achievements or the lost potential. Think about what you could achieve if you were in a clear mind day after day after day, right? So I'm going to end this video and just say that, is this how you see yourself as a functioning person? Is that how you want to see yourself, as just functioning? Is that what you would have accepted for your life when you were a kid, looking forward into your life and saying to yourself, well, yeah, this is what I want to be, a functioning, whatever it is. Even a skid row derelict is functioning to a degree. So ask yourself, what is next for you? You can function yourself into a life with low quality and an early grave, but is that what you want? I think it's just another one of these things that keeps people in that frame of mind, in the habit, for much longer than they would have otherwise taken themselves out and thought about these things from a different perspective. So if you like that video, another video to watch is 5 changes to expect after stopping drinking alcohol for more than a month, right? If you want our help, you know where we are, and www.habitsv2.com. Take care of yourself and have a lovely morning or afternoon or evening, wherever you are. I wish you a safe and rewarding and especially rambling journey onwards and upwards. Take care. Bye now.